Hey, it's Spence C. It's January the 29th, 2025, and it's another daily video. Today's title is How to Create Irresistible Value That Your Fans Just Can't Ignore. So this is day 3 of a 3-part series about how to create a fan base, a loyal fan base, especially if you're over 40 or over 50 and a musician. My name is Spence C. I am definitely over 50. I'm sharing my experience, highs, lows, and experiments that I've learned over the 25 years that I've been in the music business and over the 10 years that I've been a live professional musician. So with that said, if you've been watching these videos, one of the reasons why I'm doing them is to show up daily and to create consistency in my posting and in my life. And so if you want to join me, there's another element to these videos, which is drinking water. Now, if you're any age really, but especially when you get to my age, over 50, it's really important to stay hydrated as possible. So this is one way I encourage myself and make sure I get at least a third of the amount of water I'm supposed to be drinking per day. So this is about a litre. I like to drink more. Anyway, this is good enough for now. If you want to join me, press pause, go and get your water, come back, let's do it. Here we go. Nearly there. And of course, you can just skip this bit if you want. Anyway, so here we go. So how to create irresistible value that your fans just can't ignore. So if you've been watching these last 3 videos, you will know who you are. You'll know who your fans are. But here's the real kicker. If you're not creating value, then none of that matters. So today we're breaking down what value really means and how to use it to create real connections, loyal fans, and yes, actual income from your music. So by the end of this video, you're going to know more about how to create value, real value, lasting value. So obviously there's different types of value. So generally there's like tangible value, intangible value. So examples of tangible value, obviously things like merchandise, hoodies, pens, sweatshirts. And then there's the actual music itself. So you want to buy vinyl. And if you are an artist and you want to create your own online vinyl store that ships your vinyl direct to the customer so you don't have to hold any inventory, and it does it within 7 days, then there is a link in my description down below and you can set it up. Within about 30 minutes, you can set up your own vinyl store. It's incredible. So it's called Vinyl Elastic Stage. Get on it in the description. And while you're at it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share these videos with people who you think will get value out of it. Because when I look in the analytics, I see a lot of shares going on. So I like that. And comment value in the comments down below for the algorithm. And if you want me to go a bit deeper, I can share more about this with you. And finally, hit the description. In the description, there will be a link to the newsletter, which is where I'd love you to go to, so I can build more of a relationship with you, and I'll share stuff that I don't share on here with you. Anyway, with that said, tangible value is merchandise, music, albums, that kind of thing. Intangible, obviously, is emotional connection and belonging. So there's those 2 types of value. We're going to be looking at both of those today. So how to align your music content and branding with your audience's values. So how do we do that? So basically, if you've watched the previous 2 videos, you'll already probably know the answer to this. Because 1, you will know who you are. 2, you'll know who your audience is. So then it's quite easy then to join the 2. So if you are, if you know who you are and your audience is, you'll know certain things are going to chime with them better than others. So certain slogans, let's say that it could be slogans that you make up, or it could be slogans that come from your music, and they are the things that sort of build your tribe, if you like. So um, for example, you can use tribe names as well. So you call these, like Taylor Swift, they're called Swifties, I think, and you know, young blood fans, I think they're called, I don't know what they're called, but they're kind of, you get the picture, right? You call them, you call your tribe after the actually the tribe tends to call themselves that, and they give themselves a name. So for me, I'm working on my brand, which is the delusional freak. So you need to be a delusional freak to believe in yourself enough to create a music career. And so mine is so rejection is correction, ridicule is fuel, and resilience leads to brilliance. So that's my kind of catchphrases, if you like, my hook. So I would put that on my merchandise, and eventually that will become that will be real. You'll be able to buy that. And we don't fit in, we freak out. That's part of the manifesto that I have of for Delusional Freak. So obviously, the people who are in my tribe, as they grow, might call themselves the freaks, or the delusional freaks, or the DFs, or whatever it is. You know, so that kind of thing really kind of creates a branding and tangible, both tangible and intangible, because it gives, you can use it for the merchandise, which is tangible, and you can use it. It gives you a sense of connection, a sense of belonging, isn't it? So also you can create experiences at live shows. So I mentioned Taylor Swift earlier. She's kind of a very good example of that. If you've ever watched her live, she's forever engaging her fans. She'll have certain, you know, have her super fans in a section at the front of the show. She'll regularly get people up on stage and talk directly to her fans in the kind of language that they understand, right? So it just brings this whole kind of stadium. Suddenly it feels like you're in a front room. You know, it feels very intimate and close, and that's the kind of ambience, that's the kind of atmosphere that you want to be creating, that you want to make the sort of big impersonal. If you get into that stage where you're playing big shows and big stadiums, good luck to you, and well done, by the way. But that's the idea, that you want to create any size room. You want to make it very intimate and encourage people, not just to say, come to the front and pulling people in, but to create an atmosphere that attracts people in. So again, if you know your fans, like if you've been watching the first two videos, then this starts to really take shape, because then if you know your fans and you know their identity, you know their names, they're not just numbers on a screen, they're not like amount of subscribers, you actually know them personally, you've had interactions with them, then you can speak to them personally, and you can give them shout outs during the shows, you can give them shout outs on their social media. And one thing that I would like to do, and will be, you know, suggest you do, if you want to get your vinyl store set up, you can create live recording. So let's say you play a gig live, you record it from the desk, so it's high quality, and then you can put it out as a live album. But make sure that on that, and you can do it as a limited edition. So you can say, this, I'm recording this show tonight, and I'm only going to do 50 copies of this, and here's the QR code. Put that up at the live show, and if you've got a lot of fans, they'll get it. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I want to get one of the 50, and then make sure during that show, that limited edition show, that you never do release that again. You just do it for the one duration. Maybe you just sell it for a week, and then that's it. And you make memorable moments. So you shout out to fans during the show. So they'll be forever immortalized in that show. You know, you will be having an interaction with them, maybe get one up on stage, that kind of thing. So it's creating experiences, so people come away from your live shows not just going, oh, I've just watched some guy just play some songs. You've actually had an emotional connection, emotional shift, and people can't wait to see you again. People are queuing up to buy your merchandise afterwards and can't wait to get on your mailing list and find out more about you. So again, you can use BTS footage behind the scenes. That also creates emotional, which is intangible connections. That shows the real you behind the polished facade that might be on stage. And that's crucial to sort of building up that kind of, that real, authentic connection. And there's a lot of artists that do that really well. I mean, you might be following some now, I kind of use these examples time and again because they're kind of evergreen, I suppose. But Taylor Swift's great at that, and Youngblood, I'd use him as an example. He's and Ed Sheeran, you know, he does a lot of good BTS footage as well, and probably BTS do as well. Make merchandise meaningful. So that would mean, I think I've talked about this before, using slogans and using excerpts of lyrics to put on the thing. So for me, it might be, you know, don't fit in, freak out. That could be like a rabble-rousing call that could be on merchandise that people, regardless, you know, you don't have to wear the logo of the person and you know, have like Ed Sheeran on the thing. You just have their lyric, and then that's kind of meaningful to them, and then it's a statement of who they are. And people will wear that with pride over, they'll probably wear that rather than a band logo or something like that. It's a bit more kind of obscure. And then of course, another way of doing it is just asking the fans. You know, if you're developing this relationship with your fans, then just ask them what they want. You know, what they want more of, what they less of. These kind of you know, for personal experiences, VIP kind of things. You know, surprising fans. You know, Ed Sheeran's done that. I keep using these examples, but the ones that pop in my head. You know, he did that thing where he just showed up at somebody's wedding. It was a fan's wedding, I think, and just started playing. It's like a wedding singer there. You know, imagine that. You know, just you were getting married. You're a big Ed Sheeran fan, and he just shows up and starts playing. I mean, it's just you're gonna be a fan for life. You know, you're just gonna be forever a super fan of that character. So those kind of things. Think of, you're creative. If you're a musician, obviously you're creative. So think of things that you can do that are gonna make people talk about you, not just about the music, but about the way you make them feel, the way you make them feel special. So there's umpteen things that you can do that don't cost anything or very little. It doesn't have to be these big sort of extravagant kind of gestures. It can be very little gestures. Just remembering people's names is good. Imagine if you went to a gig and you went to see a show, and you were maybe backstage, or you were at the merch table and someone was doing a signing, and they called you by it. They recognised you and they said, "Hey, Dave," or Spence, or Lisa, or whatever it is, and they knew you by your name and said your name. You would be, wow, they know my name. Little things like that. It doesn't have to be massive. Yeah, it just be small things that are personal. So think on. I'm going to put some questions down below in the descriptions to help you with this, because it's very important. I mean, one of the questions I'm just going to read off is, so how does your band reinforce your fans' connection to your music? How does your brand rather do that? So again, it's kind of reinforcing things. It's not, you can experiment, but it's not about doing new things every week, new slogans and new things like that. It's about getting the same kind of things, doing the same things over again, but in a different way, rather than doing different things all the time. You know, so having a core vision, having a core kind of stamp of what you're doing, just finding different experimental ways to say the same thing. That's what creates brand loyalty, because people can relax that they know they're going to get the same kind of thing, maybe in a slightly different way. And if you look at any band, any brand, that's what they're doing. Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Youngblood, Jay-Z, whoever you can name who's at the top of the game, that's what they're doing. So thank you for listening. If you've got any value out of this, please like the video, consider subscribing, and hit the notification bell. You get notified whenever I'm uploading, which is every day. And of course, share these with other people, because it all helps the algorithm. Comment value in the algorithm down below. It helps the video get seen by more people. And if you want to go one step further and show the commitment, if you've enjoyed these 3 videos and got a lot out of it, then put your comments down below. Do the questions, fill them out, copy paste, fill it out, and share one of your questions and answers. Or share all of them if you're feeling really brave. That would be great to see what you're doing, how you're building your audience connection. So with that said, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. But before that, remember, rejection is just correction. Ridicule is fuel. And resilience leads to brilliance. See you tomorrow.